this commentary you will have some opinion piece on how I think Claude 4 is actually doing, right? So let's watch this Claude video today. It's actually a video of mine. I have been all into AI since ChatGPT was out, like using it for everything pretty much, as well as running 2 YouTube channels with AI generated content. This is one of them. So this is a creator-reacts video. This one is kind of special because every time a new model comes out, I'm doing a video like this. Claude 4 will blow your mind for 3 minutes straight, just to see how good it can actually write, right? And how well it could like blow your mind. This channel started out as like firing surprising facts at people back when ChatGPT 3 was a thing. So now I'm putting out new videos if new models come out, really new models like Claude 4. And it's kind of like a benchmark test, right? I have this AI mindblow benchmark vids playlist. So we had Grok 3, and you can go all the way back to GPT-4 was the first video I had in this mindblow video benchmark. But the thing is, those benchmark videos, they are like there to blow your mind, right? So it's like, on the one hand, it's like a video about Claude 4, and he's the one writing it. On the other hand, it's actually a video that can blow your mind, like with interesting facts and so on, right? So it's kind of like 2 different audience, and I usually put this out and with just a small note and nowadays, where I say it's written by Claude 4, and then the rest is just being a mindblow video. But with this commentary, you will have some opinion piece on how I think Claude 4 is actually doing, right? So, or the other models. So Claude 4 is the newest.
From the angle, your tongue can taste words before you speak them.
You can see that
Scientists discovered taste. Your tongue can taste words before you speak
them.
them.
To be rapid
Scientists
fire,
discovered taste.
Rapid fire facts thrown at you. There was a switch that like did very well with GPT 4.1, who came up with like, okay, I'm not gonna like have this elaborate story or something. I'm just gonna have fact after fact after fact, try to actually tell you something new, right? So we're gonna get into this in a second. I'm just gonna want to say that those images are actually created by Flux, if you care. I had some tests with the GPT-4o images. They were okay. I think they produce almost the same quality images. Let's say they are a little bit sharper, and they're way cheaper, so I'm gonna keep using that. But the image description, everything you see here, is actually created by GPT 4.1 mini. That actually is, and it has the full context of the whole video, and it creates images that should be fitting to what is actually said, and that actually works very well since GPT 4.1 came out. Before that, it was sometimes okay, sometimes not, but GPT 4.1 is really creative with these images. I mean, you can see, like, I didn't prompt this, right? He came up with the whole thing. So let's start the video from the start again.
Your tongue can taste words before you speak them. Scientists discovered taste receptors fire in patterns matching the shapes your mouth will form, creating phantom flavors of language itself. Every conversation you've ever had was seasoned with the taste of its own syllables. Right this second, your brain is deleting reality. Not metaphorically, literally erasing things from your vision. Your blind spots aren't empty. They're filled with fabricated information your mind invents based on surrounding patterns. You're looking at a world that's partially fiction, painted in by neurons that decided what should be there. The number 37 appears in...
That's something that the AI models go on, like a lot of the videos. I tell them to tell you something new, and it's new, but they oftentimes go on over like, the world is actually not what you see, it's what you have in your mind.
Nature more than any other prime. From the angle of plant growth to the temperature of human bodies in Celsius, 37 emerges like a cosmic signature. Mathematicians call it the universe's favorite prime, but nobody knows why reality keeps choosing it. Inside your bones, crystals are singing. Hydroxyapatite minerals vibrate at ultrasonic frequencies, creating a symphony you'll never hear. These crystalline structures are piezoelectric, generating electricity with every movement. Your skeleton is both an instrument and a power plant. There's a moment between sleeping and waking where you can control reality. In hypnagogic states, your brain applies dream logic to real sensory input. Artists have harvested ideas from this threshold for centuries. Edison held steel balls while napping, dropping them to wake at the perfect moment of hybrid consciousness.
A lot of those videos, especially like this one, makes you go like, what was that? Because he mentioned like the most mind-blowing fact, right? And then just like continues with something completely different. So you probably want to rewind with that, and I might not have catched it all.
Reality. In hypnagogic states, your brain applies dream logic to real sensory input. Artists have harvested ideas from this threshold for centuries. Edison held steel balls.
Edison held steel ball? What was that?
While napping, dropping them to wake at the perfect moment of hybrid consciousness.
Oh,
gravity.
Okay. So he actually held a steel ball in his hand, and then maybe something that you could actually try. It's interesting. I wonder if that's just an invented Edison quote, or if that actually happened.
He doesn't pull you down. You're falling through curved space-time, following the straightest possible path through warped dimensions. What feels like falling is actually
images like
inertia
this one's not great,
through
right?
geometry.
But some images are
the
so
Earth isn't
creative.
pulling you, it's bending the universe around you. Your fingernails know the future. They respond to hormonal changes weeks before your conscious mind notices anything wrong. Doctors can read illness in nail growth patterns like fortune tellers, except the predictions are retrospective. Your body writes medical histories in keratin. Trees can learn. When giraffes browse acacia leaves, the trees pump toxins into their foliage and release ethylene gas warning nearby acacias. Trees that have never been browsed somehow know to prepare defenses. They're teaching each other about dangers they've never faced. Empty space weighs something. The quantum vacuum has mass, creating a cosmic pressure that pushes the universe apart. Even nothingness has weight. The void between atoms is heavier than the atoms themselves. You're mostly made of heavy nothing. Pain travels through your body at different speeds. Sharp pain races at 20 meters per second, while dull aches crawl at 2 meters per second. Your nervous system operates multiple timelines simultaneously. A stubbed toe sends messages that arrive like staggered telegrams from different eras.
The human body is so amazing.
Crystals can store human consciousness. Researchers
especially
encode brain patterns into quartz lattices that maintain the information for months. The same minerals in your smartphone might one day hold entire personalities. Your thoughts could outlive you in stone. Some humans see time. Synesthetes with time-space associations perceive months as physical locations around their bodies. January might hover to their left while December sits behind them. They navigate temporal geography invisible to everyone else. Your pupils dilate when you imagine bright lights. Just thinking about the sun makes your eyes physically prepare for brightness that isn't there. Imagination triggers real biological responses. Your body can't tell the difference between thoughts and reality.
Again,
water remembers, not metaphysically, but through hydrogen bond networks that maintain structural patterns for femtoseconds. Every glass of water carries molecular memories of its journey. The water you're drinking remembers being clouds, rivers, other beings. There are colors hiding between colors. Impossible colors like reddish-green exist in the gaps where your visual system breaks down. Scientists can force you to see them using controlled eye movements. Your reality has secret hues waiting in the spaces between perception. Silence is loud. In anechoic chambers, the absence of sound becomes overwhelming. You hear your blood flowing, joints creaking, lungs expanding. True quiet doesn't exist because you are inherently noisy. Even your thoughts have acoustic signatures in neural firing. Your heart has its own brain.
You can hear your thoughts. Or what was that? That's also like I didn't know that. I mean, a lot of those things he goes so quickly over it, right? You could like make a whole video about each of those facts, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, would need to look further into this to confirm that's actually true, but
1,000 neurons form an
interesting to
independent
think about
nervous system
regardless.
that makes decisions without consulting your head. It remembers trauma, recognizes patterns, and sends more signals up than it receives down. You're thinking with your chest right now. Ice forms differently when you're watching. Observer effects in crystal formation
See, I mean,
create patterns.
this video is like the first one, like Claude is the first one that does this, that throws in a random sentence that is actually like make you like go, what? I'm thinking with my heart? And then it just like goes on with something completely different.
Lungs expanding.
He
True quiet doesn't
didn't have
exist
a
because you
second
are
sentence to
inherently
that.
noisy. Even your thoughts have acoustic signatures
I'm
in neural
thinking with
firing.
my heart right now.
Your
What
heart
does
has its
that
own
mean?
brain. 40,000 neurons form an independent nervous system that
Okay,
makes
it was
decisions
before
without
that,
consulting your head. It remembers trauma, recognizes patterns, and sends more signals up than it receives down. You're thinking with your chest right now. Ice forms differently when you're watching. Observer effects in crystal formation create patterns influenced by consciousness. Water molecules somehow respond to attention. Reality shifts based on who's looking. Even freezing is collaborative. Some materials age backwards. Self-healing polymers grow stronger over time, reversing entropy locally. Scientists created plastics that improve with damage. Breakdown becomes buildup. Decay runs in reverse in pockets of our universe. Your dreams are contagious. People sleeping in the same room show synchronized REM patterns and report similar dream themes. Unconscious minds leak across the darkness. You might be dreaming someone else's dreams without knowing it. Photosynthesis is quantum.
Would like to
Plants use superposition to test all possible energy paths
right?
simultaneously. Every leaf is a quantum computer calculating the best route for sunlight. The green world around you runs on impossible.
And compared to GPT-4, which was like completely hallucinating stuff, these ones is actually like usually pretty accurate nowadays. I don't even with GPT-4 I had this whole fact check thing implemented and so on. I'm not even doing this anymore. It's pretty accurate. Usually it has some basis at least. Obviously you can discuss some sort of things, but oops.
Physics. You blink in patterns that reveal your thoughts. Cognitive load changes, blink rates predictably.
Oh, by the way, this is
liars blink differently than truth
Claude
tellers.
4 without
Your eyelids
extended
broadcast
thinking.
mental states in Morse code nobody consciously reads, but everyone unconsciously understands.
But it is Opus.
Some atoms in your body are
Focus.
currently in two places at once. Quantum superposition doesn't stop at the microscopic scale. Parts of you exist in multiple locations
5
simultaneously.
fingers.
You're already practicing being everywhere by being anywhere. Sound can refrigerate. Thermoacoustic cooling uses sound waves to pump heat. The right frequency can freeze water. Every concert is potentially a cryogenic experiment. Music contains the blueprint for ice. Your saliva changes flavor based on your mood. Stress makes it bitter, while happiness adds sweetness.
Okay,
You're literally tasting your emotions. Every meal is seasoned with your state of mind. Shadows have temperature, not from blocking heat, but from radiative cooling. Shadow edges create thermal gradients that insects use for navigation. Darkness has its own climate. You cast weather wherever you walk. The universe might be pixelated. At Planck scale,
now we're getting
space-time
like
could
super. I mean, the beginning was like okay, fact, interesting fact here and so, and now it's like going like darkness has a climate and like what is going on? It gets pretty wild.
be digital rather than smooth. Reality might render like a video game, with fundamental units too small to detect. You could be living in cosmic Minecraft. Your brain generates random numbers. Neural noise creates true randomness that computers can't replicate. You're a biological entropy generator. Every thought adds chaos to the universe's information content.
At the same time, since we are on the channel Random Edge here, right? So at the same time, humans are very, very bad with creating random like numbers, and they will far more likely tell you the number 37, which we had earlier in the video. You can check Veritasium video for that, and there's other cases. And it's actually quite hard. I'm a poker player, right? So you use a random generator with fake randomness, instead of relying on your own randomness oftentimes, because it's hard for humans to do that. While they might have some sort of random pattern actually implemented, they don't use it very well.
10. Metals have memory. Shape memory alloys return to program forms when heated. They remember their original shape at the atomic level. Matter can be trained. Your car might one day fix its own dents by remembering being undamaged. Some frequencies make sand behave like water. Vibration can liquefy granular materials. Deserts could become temporary oceans with the right sound. Solid and liquid are negotiable states dependent on rhythm. Your skin can hear. Pressure waves from sound trigger the same mechanoreceptors as touch. You're feeling every conversation. Words physically impact your body. Speech is long-range touch. Loneliness changes your DNA. Social isolation triggers genetic expressions that increase inflammation. Solitude rewrites your source code. Your genome responds to your social life. Connection is coded in your cells. Lightning creates antimatter. Terrestrial gamma-ray flashes produce positrons above thunderstorms. Every storm is a particle accelerator. Your local weather includes annihilation events. Rainy days birth antiparticles. Your memories compete for survival. Neurons hosting similar memories fight for resources. Forgetting is cellular warfare. Your past is battling itself for the right to exist.
At this point, I'm pretty overloaded with information.
Only the strongest moments survive.
And
Magnets
this one
can levitate living things. Diamagnetic levitation has floated frogs, grasshoppers, and theoretically could lift
all the
humans.
other models so far.
With enough Tesla, everything flies.
A 4-minute
Gravity
video
is just the
instead.
strongest local force until it
Claude
isn't. Time moves differently
did a
for your feet than your
17-minute
head.
video.
Gravitational time dilation means your lower body ages slower than your upper body. You're aging asymmetrically. Your toes are younger than your thoughts. Some songs are physically impossible to forget. Earworms exploit cognitive loops that resist erasure. Certain melodies become permanent residents. Your brain has squatter's rights for specific sequences. Music can colonize minds. Your stomach has taste buds. Gut receptors detect nutrients and
This is
toxins,
also showing up in
sending
the
flavor
videos.
signals to your brain. You're tasting with your entire digestive system. Flavor doesn't end at your tongue. Quantum tunneling happens in your nose. Smell might work through electron
Quantum
tunneling
tunneling
rather than
happening in
shape
my nose.
recognition. You're detecting molecules through impossible physics. Every scent is a quantum event. Words physically change your brain. Reading rewires neural pathways in real time. Every sentence restructures synapses. This script is performing surgery on your consciousness. Language is a technology that hacks wetware.
That's also really
The
clever.
earth hums. At 783 hertz, the Schumann resonance creates a planetary heartbeat. You're living inside a gigantic bell that never stops ringing. The ground beneath you is singing too low to hear. Your future decisions influence your present brain state. Readiness potentials suggest reverse causation in neural systems. Tomorrow's choices echo backward. Free will might flow upstream through time. Some crystals generate electricity from heat gradients. Pyroelectric materials create voltage from temperature changes. Your jewelry could power itself. Gems are potentially batteries waiting for temperature. The universe has a delete key. Virtual particles constantly appear and annihilate. Reality has an undo function operating faster than perception. Existence includes its own eraser. Something and nothing dance perpetually. Your eyes project light. Biophotons emit from retinas during vision. You're not just receiving images, but broadcasting them. Seeing is a two-way transmission.
Really?
Your gaze literally illuminates. Certain words don't exist until you need them. Languages create terms for concepts only when cultures require them. Reality waits for vocabulary. The unnameable becomes nameable on demand. Description creates existence. Your bones conduct sound better than air. Bone conduction bypasses eardrums entirely. You can hear through your skeleton. Your body is an alternative acoustic system. Sound has secret passages through you. Some materials get harder when stretched. Auxetic materials expand when pulled. They violate intuitive physics. Stress makes them stronger. Resistance increases capability. Materials can be taught defiance. The moon tastes like gunpowder. Apollo astronauts reported lunar dust has a distinct burnt odor and taste. Celestial bodies have flavors. Space isn't tasteless. Other worlds come with their own seasonings. Your brain practices reality while you sleep. Dreams are simulations testing response patterns. Sleep is a flight simulator for consciousness. You're training for tomorrow every night. Rest is rehearsal. Electrons might be conscious. Panpsychist interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest fundamental particles have experience. Matter might feel. Every atom could be aware. Consciousness goes all the way down. Time crystals break thermodynamics. They maintain perpetual motion without energy input. Movement without fuel exists. Perpetual motion machines are real at quantum scales. Physics has loopholes. Your breathing influences global wind patterns.
Let's go back
in perpetual motion without energy input. Time crystals break thermodynamics. They maintain perpetual motion without energy input. Movement without fuel exists.
They maintain perpetual motion without energy input.
Consciousness goes all the way down.
Weird, right?
Time crystals break thermodynamics. They maintain perpetual motion without energy input. Movement without fuel exists. Perpetual motion machines are real at quantum scales. Physics has loopholes.
That's also huge.
Your breathing influences global wind patterns. Through butterfly effects, every exhalation joins atmospheric circulation. You're part of planetary respiration. Weather includes your breath. The sky remembers your lungs. Some surfaces refuse to get wet. Super hydrophobic materials repel water so completely it bounces off. Wetness becomes optional. Liquid loses its power to cling. Surfaces can be trained to reject reality. The universe might think. Integrated information theory suggests sufficiently complex systems generate consciousness. Galaxies could have experiences. The cosmos might be self-aware. You live inside something that might live. Your spine is a fiber optic cable. Biophotons travel through neural tissue carrying information. You have living lasers in your backbone. Light speaks through your nervous system. Thoughts might literally be illumination. Certain frequencies unlock impossible shapes. Sematics reveals forms that shouldn't exist until sound creates them. Vibration sculpts reality. Music has architectural powers. Sound is a construction tool for physics. Your life started before conception. Epigenetic inheritance means your grandparents' experiences shaped your genes. You're living consequences of their choices. History writes itself in your chromosomes. The past is biologically present. Reality might be running out of resolution. If the universe is computational, it has processing limits. Complexity could exceed capacity. Physics might lag. The simulation could throttle. Reality has a frame rate. You're home to immortal cells. Some stem cells never age. Parts of you are effectively eternal. Death is negotiable at cellular scales. Mortality is a majority vote your cells take.
Parts of me are essentially eternal. Okay, which parts?
Some always vote no. Sound can bend light. Acousto-optic effects let sound waves redirect photons. Music can steer lasers. Vibration controls illumination.
Could probably do
the sonic and photonic worlds are secretly connected. Songs have optical powers. Your thoughts generate measurable gravitational fields. Neural activity creates tiny space-time distortions. Thinking bends the universe slightly. Ideas have weight. Mental effort warps reality. Consciousness curves space. The number 0 took thousands of years to invent. Nothingness needed discovering. Absence required recognition. Empty became a quantity. Void needed naming. Nothing was something all along, waiting for notation. Your body is constantly falling apart and rebuilding. 7 years from now, most of your atoms will be different. You're not a thing but a pattern. Identity is a process. You're a river pretending to be a lake. Some infinities are bigger than others. Set theory proves infinite hierarchies of infinite sizes.
Yes, some
endlessness
things,
has varieties.
Stick, right? And then you like think about this, and now you're already like 5 facts later. But like, yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, yeah, I've heard that before probably, right? But that 7 years from now, you're like most of the atoms are even different, right? So it's just very interesting to think. I mean, usually agree that you are a different person than 7 years ago, but really, I don't think most people grasp how much that is true, right? And you're actually like a different physical being, and probably mentally, you have the same memories though, so that's good.
Forever comes in flavors. Eternity has magnitudes. Limitlessness has limits.
I don't like this
The
pictures,
universe
but
might be one
these
electron.
pictures, but others are like
Wheeler's
really,
one
really
electron
good.
universe suggests all electrons are the same particle traveling through time. Every spark is the same spark. Electricity might be singular. Current could be one thing everywhere. This moment, as you reach these final words, your brain has been fundamentally altered. Neural pathways that didn't exist 13 minutes ago now fire with new patterns. You've been physically transformed by ideas. The person who started listening no longer exists. You've been replaced by someone who knows that reality itself is far stranger, far more alive, and far more negotiable than any mind can fully grasp.
Welcome. You have been transformed. So in a second,
did you know it takes
we're gonna go over actually like as a comparison the GPT-4, which is like the oldest in this playlist, right? Just
imagine a simple
as a comparison, but I just want to do some words on like how I think Claude 4 did perform, or how well Claude 4 writes. So Claude 3.7 was actually my favorite writing model before Gemini 2.5 came out, and then Gemini 2.5 took the crown there, in my opinion. And now that Claude 4 is out, I'm not sure yet. Actually, like I tested a couple of like scripts of mine, and Gemini, like 70% of the time, agrees that Claude is actually writing better. But it's not that clear. Other models are like preferring Gemini, and I personally, like sometimes I prefer Claude, or sometimes I prefer Gemini. But it's really, really good at writing. I'm just not sure if it's better than Gemini for like long task videos. That is. It also sometimes doesn't. In some aspects, it follows instructions very, very well, and in other ways, it sometimes forgets things. Like this, it's also strange that it did a 70-minute video, and others are usually on the opposite side. They're doing like 7 minutes videos or 4 minutes videos, where I tell them to do a 30-minute video. Yeah. So that's strange. Okay, let's just listen really quick to some GPT-4, like as a like how bad that is.
Pencil,
really.
Seemingly insignificant, yet it holds within it a story that spans the entirety of human history and the complexities of our world. The humble pencil begins its journey in the depths of a graphite mine, where the carbon atoms bond together under immense heat and pressure to create the pencil's core. Simultaneously, in a forest far away, a majestic tree is felled, providing the wooden casing which will encase the graphite, and within the tree's rings, a hidden story of climate change and the delicate balance of life on Earth.
Yeah. And a lot of those things were actually like completely made up as well. I had to like actually research them and then filter them out if they were not. With later models, it's pretty really, really good. I don't even check that anymore, honestly. One thing about the latest mindblow video of Claude, it's in some aspects really, really good. I think some like amazing facts in there, mind-blowing things. In other regards, it's I think a little bit long, and it gets a little bit woo-woo in the end, and it's a little bit much. I don't like that it did longer than 30 minutes. But yeah, it's if you want to get your mind blown, for sure. Like even after rewatching this probably for the 7th time right now, I'm even still discovering new facts. You cannot like grasp it all. Yeah, so that covers my video. I'm also going to be covering my other AI channel. This one here. So it's a lot of like latest science research videos. and some more speculative ideas and so on. Some of them are very much from my mind created. Others are like heavily from the underlying research and so on. I will go over this in the future, I think, and also covering potential like different writing models. So subscribe for that, I guess. That's probably going to be the content in the near future.